In 1215, King John was becoming the worst king in history. The following suspicion led to him being the worst king in history. He imprisoned his former wife. He starved his enemies to death. He had imposed heavy taxes on the barons in order to pay for his expensive foreign ward, and if they refused, they were punished.
The rebellious barons protested and stated that King John must be subject to the law. When he refused, the barons retaliated and seized London, forcing King John to come to terms. Thus the Magna Carta was written and became one of the most powerful symbols of liberty.
The Magna Carta said, "No free man shall be seized or imprisoned, or stripped of his rights or possessions, or outlawed or exiled, or deprived of his standings in any other way. Nor will we proceed with force against him, or send others to do so, except by the lawful judgment of his equals, or by the law of the land. To no one will we sell, to no one deny or delay right or justice. And all free men have the right to justice and a fair trial." The one thing about this one clause was that it wasn't as liberal as it sounded.
The charter only applied in the context of free men. However, the majority of people were unfree peasants at the time. King John intended for the barons to be oblivious to the clauses and rather it be a symbol of liberty and create peace with the rebellious barons. However, in September 1215, civil war broke out between King John and his barons. The king raised an army to fight for his cause while the barons renounced their allegiance to him and invited Prince Louis to accept the English crown. Louis invaded England in 1216, and England was still at war when King John died in October 1216. Civil war concluded subsequent to the Pope declaring the charter invalid.
The Magna Carta was effectively dead in value, but attained revival in the early years of reign of the next king, Henry III. Henry was just 9 years old when he succeeded the throne in November 1216. He revised the Magna Carta, and it was issued in his name, in order to regain support of the barons. The Magna Carta was reissued 3 more times in the 13th century, in 1217, 1225, and 1297. Some clauses of the Magna Carta were then integrated into English law.
Although the Magna Carta initially did not impact the present society, it eventually led to political power redistribution and brought the idea of parliament and democracy.
Although most of the clauses in the Magna Carta have now been repealed, the many divergent uses that have been made of it since the Middle Ages have shaped its meaning in the modern era, and it has become a potent use for democracy.
Some of Magna Carta's core principles are echoed in the United States Bill of Rights and in many other constitutional documents around the world, as well as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the European Convention on Human Rights.
What started as specific complaints from a group of barons has then become into an international symbol of liberty. Although King John didn't intend the Magna Carta to be as liberal as it was, it eventually led to being an international symbol of liberty and was a political building block for our modern society.